The era of complaining of not being able to afford the cost of Hajj is gone and gone forever. National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Nahcon, a body statutorily recognized by law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to coordinate all Hajj and Umrah activities, in conjunction with Lagos State Pilgrims Welfare Board and Giants Bank PLC, has come together to actualize this dream, especially for the low-income earners to perform Hajj.
It's a very welcome idea, and it has been practiced in many countries like Indonesia and many countries like that. Also, even in Nigeria, in the northern part, this is the first time that we are experiencing it here.
I think it is a lot of progress for Hajj, and it's going to result in a lot of ease for prospective pilgrims, and it is welcome and very commendable.
It's highly welcome in Lagos because in other countries they usually practice it, and alhamdulillah, Lagos State and Nigeria as a whole are about to welcome it.
This is not the first time we are going to have Hajj saving scheme in the Muslim world. We have it in Saudi, we have it in Bangladesh, we have it in Indonesia, like that. Now that it has now come to Nigeria, I think this is a big milestone for all the entire members of the Muslim Ummah. I think we should all take advantage of it.
On Sunday, 20th of December 2020, Muslims from all over Lagos State and beyond gathered in Eko FM Makiu, Agedingbi, Ikeja for the official launch of Hajj Savings Scheme, HSS, in Lagos State. This was earlier launched in Kano and Ogun State. The occasion was graced by the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Hamzat Kadiri. The DG's arrival formally started the event with the rendition of the national anthem, followed with the opening prayers and recitation from the Quran.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ألا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته وعافيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا مسافرا إلا رددته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا أمرا إلا يسرته ولا عائلا إلا أغنيته ولا سائلا إلا أعطيته.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا في سبيل الله. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون.
The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Home Affairs, Prince Anofiu Elegushi, welcomed and appreciated all the stakeholders for ensuring the day became a reality.
This event is highly significant and remarkable. It is significant and remarkable in the sense that this is the first time since Hajj operation began in Nigeria that we are introducing a full-flagged contributory Hajj savings scheme with a view of ameliorating the financial burden usually being experienced by intending pilgrims, especially the less privileged ones in fulfillment of the Hajj rites as enshrined in the Holy Quran. It is not beyond overstatement to emphasize at this junction that this laudable initiative, which is tripartite arrangement between Nahcon, the Forum of State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, and Giants Bank PLC, will have positive impact on Hajj administration in Nigeria and also go a long way of creating an enabling environment and avenue for intending pilgrims to contribute gradually towards the actualization of their dream of becoming an Alhaji or Alhaja in no distant future. Promised on the above, I wish to encourage our people to tap into the great opportunity provided by the scheme to immediately register with the Jais Bank PLC to start contributing so that in the fullness of time, the money will have grown and readily available for the contributors to perform the Hajj obligation without much ado.
Professor Noibi, the chairman of the occasion, gave a speech.
The event for which we are gathered here this morning is a landmark one. The Act 2006 that established the National Hajj Commission mandated the Commission to establish, supervise, and regulate a system of Hajj Savings Scheme, HSS, to be operated by the Pilgrims Welfare Board of each state and FCT for interested pilgrims. The scheme was one of the concerns of the stakeholders at their conference held in July 2017. In the same year, the National Assembly passed a resolution asking the Commission to expedite action on the scheme. Therefore, there is no gainsaying the fact that the Commission, under the able chairmanship of our own barrister Dhikrullah Kule Hassan, deserves to be given a huge commendation for launching the scheme here today. The launching of this scheme brings to reality the concepts intended to make the financial costs of performing the Hajj less burdensome on many pilgrims, including those of Nigeria, and indeed make performing Hajj a possibility thereafter all. This was one of the most important things the ordinary Nigerian would want to perform, but which funding would make impossible. Besides providing opportunity for ordinary Nigerian Muslims, irrespective of their social or financial status, to save systematically and assuredly for the purpose of performing the Hajj, this scheme has an added advantage of providing the opportunity for the funds to attract profits that would come from the investments that the Jais Bank would put their funds.
This was followed by the speech of the MD of Jais Bank PLC, Malam Hassan Usman. He gave a brief talk on the scheme and the benefit inherent, while expressing his gratitude to all.
The National Hajj Savings Scheme is a significant milestone for all stakeholders in the Hajj ecosystem in Nigeria. From planning, funding to actual operations, the scheme has the potential to positively affect every act and actor in the process. With such a scheme in place, intending pilgrims that do not have the wherewithal can gradually plan and actualize their dream without stress by saving small. even those who did not have long enough to complete, they did not live long enough to complete their savings, might still, in Allah's infinite mercy, receive the reward for performing Hajj, because from the day they make the first deposit into their Hajj savings account, which is the beginning of the intention to travel for Hajj, they become al-Hajjis, they are pilgrims, by bringing niyyah and action together. As this scheme grows over time, the Commission and the various state Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Boards can have the liquid funds required to effectively plan Hajj operations early, thereby securing better bargain for accommodation and other services for their pilgrims. The scheme can also be the key to making them highly self-sustaining in the long run. I would like to take this opportunity, therefore, to congratulate the leadership of the National Hajj Commission, and especially the chairman, who took this as the first great assignment to perform. And this is an assignment that defied two other chairmen over the last 10, 12 years. And by God's grace, he is carrying it on and implementing it. We also congratulate Lagos State Pilgrims Welfare Board for actualizing this event within a very short time. May Allah reward you all abundantly, here and in the hereafter. The lunch in Lagos today is a further affirmation of the enormous belief that we have on the Lagos Muslim community to embrace this innovative initiative and make it a grand success. If we replicate the success stories of similar schemes of Southeast Asia, the seed we are planting today shall germinate into a tree capable of transforming the economic development of Muslims in this country. On our part as a bank, we are committed to this journey, and we are ready to support it with best-in-class technology infrastructure as well as safe investment management practices. Finally, on behalf of the board and management of Jaiz Bank, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all the critical stakeholders that gave birth to this people-oriented scheme. I look forward to taking the next steps towards our common goal of a better, more affordable, convenient, and efficient health system for all in the country.
Alhaji Zikula Olakule Hassan, the chairman of Nahcon, in his speech, gave the reason for the initiative and also used the opportunity to educate the mandate of Nahcon.
The choice of Lagos for launching of the scheme is not a mere coincidence, but a decision deliberately taken because of the historic and special status of Lagos as the first departure center in the southern Nigeria for the airlift of Muslim pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. The second reason is its role as the center of commerce and host of largest concentration of prospective pilgrims in southern Nigeria, many of who are in search of dependable and comfortable payment option. As we mark today's milestone, I wish to commend all the state Muslim pilgrim welfare officials for their dedication and hard work in always trying to find common ground and arriving at implementable solutions on issues that concern Hajj management. On this note, I wish to particularly commend the Lagos State Muslim pilgrim officials for particularly putting up to this event at a very short notice. You may wish to recall that on our inauguration, I made a solemn pledge to Nigerians that the new board shall strive to make Hajj affordable for the average Nigerian Muslim pilgrims to enable them make the journey of a lifetime to the Holy Land of Mecca. Therefore, the event of today is not only a testament to our resolve, but also a bid to drive that ambition. it needs worth reiterating that the introduction of our savings scheme is one of our strategic moves to achieve the desire as enshrined in our Establishment Act, Section 7, Subsection 1, which empower us to establish, supervise and regulate a system of our savings scheme to be operated by the Pilgrims Welfare Board of East State and FCT for interested pilgrims. Therefore, the event of today is a fulfillment of our mandate using the Jaiz Bank PLC for the takeover of the Hajj savings scheme. The new system will operate concurrently with what we have now known as pay-as-you-go at transitional period. However, payments made by 2020 intending pilgrims will remain with State Pilgrims Welfare Board and they will be given priority. You will recall that on 10 September 2020, I signed an operating agreement with our partner, Jaiz Bank in Abuja, to kickstart the program. This bank-led option was designed and developed as a stopgap for the full-blown Hajj savings scheme, pending the conclusion of administrative and organizational structures towards obtaining operating license from the Central Bank of Nigeria. It's very important to say the reason for the choice of the bank. For about a decade, Jaiz Bank has been working on our behalf to develop and provide framework for integrating old payment system with modern day service so as to improve our Hajj system. They have been discharging those duties selflessly and with utmost integrity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the operationalization of the Hajj savings scheme is an historic milestone in our long work towards self-financing that will win us from depending on the scarce government resources which can be utilized for provision of infrastructure and other social services in the country. At the core of the scheme is a developmental approach that seeks to liberalize payment, build value chains, and overcome the infrastructure deficit. We reaffirm our optimism that Hajj savings scheme will leverage on these opportunities. It will also address the issue of poverty and inequality in the country. It will also set off a chain of benefits and domino effects in the following ways. 1, protect intending pilgrims against potential fraudsters. As you know, the traditional saving method mostly used in rural areas is fraught with a lot of risk and hardship from marauders. Number 2, intending pilgrims no longer need to sell off or dispose their properties or life savings to fulfill their religious obligation to the Holy Land. Number 3, it will provide reliable and accurate data for effective and efficient service delivery. Number 4, it will enhance advanced planning for accommodation, feeding, and airlift operation. Number 5, it will strengthen the economic capacity of contributors. Number 6, it will offer subsidy and a great opportunity to reduce the cost of Hajj. Number 7, there will be job creation through pockets of portfolio investment. Number 8, we will align the country Hajj system to global standard. And number 9, we believe it will boost the country GDP and provide economic power to the citizen.
Brief talk on how the Hajj savings scheme works was given in English and Yoruba languages, respectively.
This scheme is a queuing system. It's a scheme that allows everybody, every Nigerian Muslim, to be an intending pilgrim, as well as to be an investor, a potential investor. This is Hajj savings scheme. It's a queuing system, and it is a system that provides opportunity to every Nigerian Muslim. Whether you are a civil servant, you can start planning for your Hajj. Whether you are a farmer, you can start preparing for your Hajj. Whether you are a beggar on the street, you can start by opening the account and paying bit by bit, day. Yes, day. By paying day until it reaches the amount. As you are depositing, everybody is depositing, this amount will be collated and will be invested by the Jaiz Bank, which is an Islamic bank, as we all know. So it is going to be invested as a halal money. It is going to be invested in halal investment, the profit of which will inshallah be shared between all the stakeholders at an agreed ratio. You can go to any of the Jaiz Bank branch. You can go to any of the Jaiz Bank branch to open the account. And then they will be very willing to guide you how to go about it. Particularly the requirement. And we must mention here, since it is demonstration, the part of the requirement, the major requirement for anybody who is having Jaiz Bank account, automatically he can migrate, or they can use the information of that Jaiz Bank he or she is having to open the Hajj savings scheme. Otherwise, you need all the requirement for opening a conventional account for now, which means you need to have identification, you need to have ID card, you need to have names and all the requirements, including utility bills. But inshallah, we know the issue of the utility bill, which the Commission and the Jaiz Bank are working to get it done, maybe, to get a waiver through the, through the CBN, inshallah. Then the benefit. Part of the benefit, guaranteeing slot, Hajj slot for any subscriber. 2, it helps the Commission in planning well ahead.
Hajj dìrọ̀rùn fún gbogbo Mùsùlùmí. Wípé gbogbo Mùsùlùmí Nàìjíríà ló lè lọ sí Hajj. Láì sọ pé èmi ò lówó lọ́wọ́, gbogbo ọ̀nà téèyàn bá lè fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ láyé. Ó jẹ́ civil servant ni, ó jẹ́ àgbẹ̀ ni, kódà àwa àfáà tó yẹ pé Ọlọ́run ọba ní sanwó oṣù wa. Báwo làwa náà ṣe fẹ́ lọ Hajj? Wọ́n ní ètò tí a gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ní ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Bí a ṣe máa lọ sí Hajj ní rọ̀rùn tó yẹ pé bó ṣe múrí kan lè mí ní bó ṣe 1,000 mo ní ìmọ̀ san díẹ̀díẹ̀, wọn ní ètò tá à ń pè ní Hajj saving scheme. Hajj ká máa sanwó ní díẹ̀díẹ̀. Àwọn ètò tí a wá gbé kalẹ̀ yìí a ti ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú ilé ìfowópamọ́ Islam tó jẹ́ pé òun làkọ́kọ́ ìfowópamọ́ Islam ní Nàìjíríà tá à ń pè ní Jaiz Bank. Ipe bó la ṣe fẹ́ sọ ọ́ dìrọ̀rùn, gbogbo Mùsùlùmí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa là ń sìn wọ́n lọ sí airport láti lọ kí ẹni tí ń lọ. Táwa náà sì ń jẹ̀rán láti pàwa náà fẹ́ lọ. Bó ló ṣe wá fẹ́ dìrọ̀rùn fún wa, làwọn olórí wa ní federal level wò pé ó yẹ pé gbogbo Mùsùlùmí náà ni a gbọ́dọ̀ ní ètò tá a ṣe tó yẹ pé yóò fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ká lè fi lọ sí Mọ́kà ní gbogbo ọdọọdún. Ètò yóò wá ń ṣe pé bóyá lọ́dún tí ń bọ̀ wá lèmi nìkan fẹ́ sọ pé iye owó tí mo ní lọ́wọ́ lélẹ́yìí, mo lè máa pláàni kalẹ̀, mo lè máa pèsè kalẹ̀ fún bí ọdún 2, ọdún 3. Kódà àwọn ọmọ wa tó yẹ pé àṣẹ ń bí ẹlòmíì ò ní mo fẹ́ ṣe surprise fọ́mọ mi. Tó bá parí yunifásitì rẹ̀ mọ́tò ní rà fún, èyí tó fi ṣe mọ́tò fún fẹ́ ládéhùn fọlọ́wọ́ bá pé Mọ́kà tó bá parí yunifásitì rẹ̀ màá fi Mọ́kà màá fi dán lọ́lá. Eléyìí ni ètò tí àwọn ìjọba federal level àti gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì àti àwọn Jaiz wọ́n jọ ṣe àfọwọ́papọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Lagos State. A gbọ́dọ̀ ní phone number tá a bá fẹ́ register, tá a fẹ́ enroll. A gbọ́dọ̀ ní BVN, a gbọ́dọ̀ ní NIN, that is National Identification Number. Àní ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin òun ni àwọn ìjọba ní òkè wọ́n ń ṣètò lọ́wọ́ pé kìí ṣe gbogbo Mùsùlùmí ló ní ìwé ìdánimọ̀ tí ìjọba lè fi dánimọ̀ tá à ń pè ní utilities. Àmọ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run tí mẹ́ta yìí bá ti wà ńlẹ̀, lágbára Ọlọ́run àti good to go. Àná Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ṣe nírọ̀rùn fún wa.
The governor, who was represented by the deputy governor, gave a brief speech where he commended the initiative.
The Hajj savings scheme being launched today, one has been informed, was conceived by National Hajj Commission of Nigeria to avail Muslim Ummah the opportunity of saving enough money over a period of time or years, so that when the money mature, it can facilitate their traveling for Hajj, which, as we know, is the 5th pillar of Islam. This lofty idea being implemented in collaboration with Jaiz Bank is a welcome development and could not have come at a better time. Now that there is a global economic meltdown that is affecting virtually everybody and countries of the world, including our nation, Nigeria, It therefore gladdens one's heart to note that this official launch reflects the spirit of oneness.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I end this address, I wish to remind us the inability of all of us as Muslims across the world to embark on this Hajj exercise in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we look forward to next year Hajj, inshallah, it is pertinent to let us know that the second wave of this pandemic is being reported around the world. May Almighty Allah protect all of us.
The representative of Ogun State Governor Alhaji Afolabi Salis, the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Ogun State, also lent a voice.
We intend to extend this excellence to the implementation of Hajj scheme. We would also ensure that Ogun State implementation of this scheme becomes a reference point. And I think we demonstrated that on Tuesday. We also like to appeal to Jais Bank to open a branch of Jais Bank in Abeokuta, at least. This is not only an operational imperative, it's also to the memory of a man that all of us drank from his fountain, Dr. Lateef Adegbite. He was the forefront of the establishment of Jais Bank and also produced a number of people who were here. A branch of Jais in Abeokuta, or rather branches in Ogun State, will be an operational imperative. And I think I've mentioned this to Jais MD. On a final note, I also would like to suggest to Nahcon that this type of gathering should not be limited to ulama. We should extend it to artisan groups.
Goodwill messages were delivered by notable leaders of Islamic bodies.
I think the scheme is a welcome development and is a laudable effort. We in Lagos will guarantee our support and our spread and advocacy for the scheme to have a successful impact on our people. Likely, since the chairman of Nahcon is around, I think the part that we need to work as people, as Muslims in Lagos on the issue of Hajj is our departure time. I think in the modern day that we have now, with the kind of technology, with the kind of telecommunication that we have, we need to improve on our departure time. I don't see the need for us as Muslims that if I want to travel, I need to move to the camp for 2-3 days. So we need to improve on that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. Thank you very much.
I support the executive chairman of Nahcon when he was talking about the issue of selling properties because of Hajj. I remember very well when I was very young that the husband of my sister in Lagos here had to sell even the television sets because he wanted to go to Hajj during that period, you know. So this scheme will actually get rid of this type of actions. So I want to employ and ask all of us here, and then our friends who are at home, to actually, you know, enlist in this scheme.
On behalf of Marcus, we support the program from A to Z. On behalf of Marcus, we've heard all the processes, and we promise that by the grace of Almighty Allah, it shall be implemented within our possible. Furthermore, we thank the organizer at the national and the local level. We appreciate you, and we pray Allah that may He continue to be with all of us. At this junction, I'm saying, Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu fina jami'an.
In Malaysia, which is almost the same thing with Indonesia, the value chain of this scheme is so enormous that it is really helping the economy of these countries, like they have mentioned. I just want to mention a few things. One, if you see Malaysian pilgrims or Indonesian pilgrims in Hajj, they came with the airline of the Hajj scheme. They have an industry that produces clothes, textile factory. And this textile factory produces the ihram, which they are using for Hajj, which they take to Hajj. this scheme as a scheme for producing food. So the lion's share of the food they take to Hajj comes from their country. So how will the Hajj not be cheap for them? And a lot of the people which I've mentioned, but they have not mentioned in full, is the fact that when you put your money in this scheme, the profit that comes, you will take a share, assuming you put 100,000, and you are able to get 10,000 naira in a year. That will continue to give you money. The people who work, saying, assuming we have the textile factory, most of them are going to be Muslims. We have the airline, the pilots and the crew, they are going to be Muslims. So this will allow us to empower a lot of Muslims. And that is why I think we really have to go to the grassroots. Really go to the grassroots. The market women, the trader, the artisans, we have to put them on board. May Allah make it a success.
This is a major development for pilgrimage in Nigeria. Hitherto, people have been saving their money either personally or through agents. But now the government is taking it over and is moving forward with it. I commend the Hajj Commission for doing this. Two, I would also recommend we support this scheme because, as the former president of Mosul said, this is Sharia compliant. Once you invest your money in Jaiz Bank, you can be sure that by the grace of Allah, you will meet with His pleasure both here in this world and the hereafter.
I'm not surprised that this kind of initiative is being driven by Barrister Zikrullah Azan, the first executive secretary of Nasrullah Hilifati, NASFAT. When he was serving as our ES, he came with a lot of ideas. I'm not surprised that he came up with these ideas. And on behalf of Nasrullah Hilifati, NASFAT, the owner of Tafsan Tours and Travel, the largest private tour operators in Nigeria today. Tafsan means NASFAT spelled backward. I'm pledging our loyalty. We will support you and ensure that this program becomes a success. May Allah reward you abundantly. You cannot imagine the kind of effort, the kind of reward you're going to get. Man ajjalillah, walam yarfuth, walam yafsik, raja kayomi ulidati humu. Whoever goes on Hajj as a Muslim and doesn't engage in any lewdness or any obscenity, he will return like the day he was given birth to by his mother. And that is the aspiration of every Muslim. You are now putting it at our doorstep. You are getting Sadaqah to Jariyah for this. May Allah reward you abundantly.
What do you think about the concept?
It's a very good idea, particularly for those who intend to go for Hajj, and then they cannot get that money at once. So this program is well arranged for them to be paying little by little. When their money is up to the money that they can take to the Hajj, they will just call them and they will go to Hajj. Before they know it, the money will complete.
Sometimes you want to achieve a goal and it takes you some period of time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And Hajj is one of such goals that you may not have the money immediately in the year you want to go. So, and it's something as a Muslim, as a very important pillar of Islam, Hajj, you need to plan ahead for it. And I think that this one has now been able to bridge that gap between somebody's desire to go on Hajj and then your financial constraints. So 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, you can make your savings and still fulfill this very important pillar of Islam.
The Nahcon chairman expressed his fulfillment of a great event. Thus,
we feel elated for a dream fulfilled, the beginning of a journey which we believe will be prosperous, in a way to emancipate the Muslims who are less privileged, yet who have a dream to go to the Holy Land. We believe today is a day of beginning, and that for such people, their dream eventually will be.
How do you think this can assist the less privileged?
Well, our love for the underprivileged Muslims, who we believe also has a duty to go to the Holy Land. And we believe that it does not have to sell its business or collapse its fortune because he wanted to go to the Holy Land. And that is why we believe starting this scheme is a beginning of such a wonderful journey for those class of people.
We wish Nahcon and its partners success as they make the low-income earners have the opportunity to perform the last pillar of Islam.